Argonus shudders, ill at ease under the watchful eyes of the maleficent harpies. Argonus watches in awe as he simultaneously destroys the stone body and frees the soul trapped within. Under his breath, Argonus mutters a prayer to Hades as the diamond's gift destroys the stone statue. This appears to be a note written on fine parchment. The note reads, "Celeus, the beast upon the hill must once again be appeased. Its appetite for riches is becoming insatiable." It is signed, Tallius. Book 3, Forges and Fire. Without a sturdy hammer and tongs such as these, how would a smith bend iron and bronze to his will? A few uninteresting items rest upon. This wooden chest is adorned with silver embellishments and a simple keyhole. The remains of baskets are strewn upon the rocks. Perhaps these once contained offerings meant to satiate the beast. Gold can be seen, scattered throughout this massive nest. During his adventures, Argonus has beheld many a fabled beast. None, however, compare to the majesty of this creature. Both lion and eagle, melded into one. As soon as Argonus sets the apple upon the earth, a harpy descends, snatching it between sharp talons before returning to the safety of the grey skies above. The griffin, however, remains placid. The presence of such a paltry gift garners nothing more than an indifferent glance from the majestic beast. The snow-white owl is beautiful and strangely comforting as well. These silver adornments have been left as an offering to the god Hephaestus. This stone forge is bereft of coal and, for the moment, useless. Marbled stone shifts as the spirit of Hephaestus enters the ornate statue shaped long ago by human hands. The god of the forge regards Argonus with unblinking eyes.
Who is this man before me? Surely not one who strikes the iron, nor one who stokes the fire. Nay.
The god continues, his brow furrowed.
They are no more, having fallen to that which fair Athena hath unleashed. Do not be deceived, sailor of the Argo. While it was Perseus's hand that sundered head from shoulders, the heart that drove the blade was assuredly that of the goddess.
Hephaestus pauses, deep in thought. When he speaks again, it is slow and measured.
I am loath to meddle in my sister's quarrels, either to directly help your quest to find your countrymen, or abate the scourge being wrought by the Gorgon's sisters. And yet, if you return the gold stolen from my temple, and tend my forge, I will grant you a light to drive away darkness.
The benevolent god nods before the statue becomes still once again.
Come, Pellis, sit by the fire. Do not tarry in darkness, as it is only shadows you chase.
Mayhap so, Nauplius. But is it not what is cloaked in shadows we seek? That which has brought all we know to ruin?
That I cannot say. But ponder this. If fair Athena appeared before us, bestowing hope, would she not also offer protection?
I know not. All that is certain is that a fear grips my heart like no other. Athena's promises do little to...
Hold! What manner of creature are...
Argonus releases the diamond's power, freeing the soul of his friend from his prison of stone. Argonus releases the diamond's power, freeing the soul of his friend from his prison of stone. While this remnant has succumbed to wind and rain, it is unclear where the remainder of this massive statue resides. This appears to be nothing more than a simple basket. Perhaps Argonus adds the golden apples he is carrying to the basket. Golden apples such as these could seduce both man and creature alike. Argonus gently moves his disfigured hand, causing the statue to shatter into pieces and fall to the sod. This statue is of Minos, the king of Crete and son of Zeus and Europa. Young Cepheus, aboard the Argo not but a fortnight, has succumbed to the very thing that has cursed this isle. Argonus feels the power of the daimon leave him and enter that of his friend. In mere moments, the statue fails, releasing its stone grip on the man's soul. With a satisfying click, the keystone sets perfectly into the stone indentation. Argonus puts his weight against the stone, but he's unable to move the statue even a hand's breadth. Without warning, the Cyclops appears, his single eye moving back and forth between Argonus and the broken statuary. The docile creature wraps its massive fingers around the stone fragment and, with a grunt, moves the impediment aside. The Cyclops bellows at the sky before fixing its gaze on the historian. Argonus nods with understanding as the creature wanders away. The sailor's merciful boon has been paid back in full. Set within the rock, the carved hole appears to be wanting a key of sorts. Argonus approaches the griffin cautiously, glancing anxiously toward the skies before setting the gold-laden basket upon the sod. The beast immediately takes notice, as the treasure is simply too great to resist. After a moment, it leaves its hoard unguarded. All at once, the air is replete with the rush of wings and unearthly screams. The dogs of Zeus descend as one, intent on claiming the savory prize as their own. Although fear grips his breast, Argonus makes haste, quickly seizing several of the golden pieces before the unearthly combatants take notice. These vases may have been used to carry water, or oil for waiting braziers. It is unclear from where the griffin stole this armor. Regardless, gold is not an ideal metal to be used in battle. Like a hunter returning with prized spoils, Argonus holds the golden artifacts high, and the statue of Hephaestus stirs.
Well done, Argonus,
The god of smiths says, nodding.
While I will not interfere with that which has been set into motion, mighty Hephaestus can instruct, can he not?
The god motions to the forge.
4 things are paramount, Argonaut. Coal for the fire, air to stoke, metal to shape, and a tool to shape it.
He then points to Argonus.
Sailor, historian, mapmaker, and soon metallurgist. Surely your father Argus would approve.
And with that, Hephaestus looks away and moves no more. As the statue crumbles to the ground, the soul of the villager rises and dissipates. Argonus gently moves his disfigured hand, causing the statue to shatter into pieces and fall to the sod. Unearthly power surges from Argonus's disfigured hand and into the statue. As it breaks apart and falls, the soul of the poor individual quickly departs this mortal world. Stone explodes outward as the statue succumbs to the gift that the diamond bestowed upon Argonus. Stone explodes outward as the statue succumbs to the gift that the diamond bestowed upon Argonus. Again and again, Argonus sets shovel to dirt, until all that remains are a number of coals. It takes Argonus a minute or so to remove the coals from the pit. The great white horse recognizes Argonus, and within moments carries the sailor of the Argo over the gorge and into the grey skies above. As the statue crumbles to the ground, the soul of the villager rises and dissipates. Argonus shows compassion for the poor creature, setting its soul free from the bewitchment that fell upon it. Only a few items remain on this small wooden shelf. It appears that little time was spent in crafting this small table and accompanying chairs. This simple bronze key lacks any sort of embellishment. A sigh escapes Argonus's lips as he uses the power of the diamond on the statue that was once his shipmate. Never did Argonus imagine that he would witness such horrors upon his friends, much less be the instrument of their salvation. The power of life and death flowing through him, Argonus reaches out and releases the soul of his fallen comrade. Bits of stone, once flesh, rain down on the sod as Argonus bids the soul of his comrade farewell and Godspeed. power of life and death flowing through him, Argonus reaches out and releases the soul of his fallen comrade. With heavy heart, Argonus watches as stone falls to the earth, even as the freed soul of the Argonaut rises. A sigh escapes Argonus's lips as he uses the power of the daimon on the statue that was once his shipmate. As the Hydra crumbles to the sod, the soul of the beast does not appear, nor does it succumb to Hades' call and depart to the underworld. Amidst the rubble, a large stone remains, unscathed by the power of the daimon's touch. By its nature, stone is hard. This one, however, is uncommonly so. Warm to the touch, it reverberates with a continuous pulse. Argonus sets the key into the keyhole before pulling open the lid, revealing its contents. The shape and color of this keystone is familiar, mirroring the one pulled from wet sand. These bellows are well crafted and certainly worthy of a smith's forge. Argonus sets the petrified heart of the Hydra before Hephaestus, prompting the statue to life once more, without questioning the intent of the sailor, nor asking for a boon in return. The god's mighty hammer crashes down, freeing the creature's organ from its stone prison. Freed from its stone prison, the still beating heart of the Methosian Hydra radiates a fell heat. Certainly the heart of a Methosian Hydra should not reside in the satchel of a sailor, but rather in something more preternatural. Argonus adds the coal to the forge. Argonus sets the bellows onto the stone and slides it into the hole. Argonus sets the wool into the forge. It takes only a single strike of steel on flint to produce a fine flame. Argonus squeezes the bellows repeatedly, fanning the flames of the forge until the coals blaze with an intense heat. The griffin's gold is set carefully within the forge. It doesn't take long for the soft metal to begin to glow. As if possessed by the spirit of Hephaestus himself, Argonus brings the hammer down on the gold again and again, reshaping once beautiful armor into a mass of precious metal. Divine power continues to drive his strokes as unrecognizable form takes shape and after time becomes something far more than the sailor thought he could construct. A light to drive away darkness. Hoping that he has guessed correctly, Argonus removes the heart from his satchel and plunges it between ancient ribs. Sensing its master, the skeleton turns hollow eyes toward the sailor, beats sword against shield, and obediently follows. The great white horse recognizes Argonus, and within moments, carries the sailor of the Argo over the gorge and into the grey skies above. With a satisfying click, the keystone sets perfectly into the stone indentation. The final keystone placed, a deep grinding fills the air, and heavy stone doors slowly open, revealing a dark passageway beyond.